Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome grade 8. My name is Iman Sabri, math teacher from Taqwa. Today inshallah we are going to learn how to factorize the perfect square. So first of all, you have to know what is the meaning of perfect square. It is the number that have square root, the number that you can find its a square root as a whole number. Like for example, you have 25, its a square root is 5, 36, its a square root is 6. So yes, these numbers are called perfect squares. So today, inshallah, we are going to learn the meaning of perfect square trinomial. What is the meaning of trinomial? It is the expression that has or that's consisting of 3 terms. Like here, you have a first term, you have a second term, also you have a third term. How can I say this is a perfect square trinomial? Or when can I say it's a perfect square trinomial? I have to check the first term first if it is a perfect square or not. Also, the third term, you have to check if it's a perfect square or not. If it's a perfect square, the first term and the third term also is a perfect square. So let's check the middle term here, which should be the product of 2 by the square root of the first term by the square root of the third term. For example, we have here 4x to the power 2 plus 12x plus 9. Let's check if it's a perfect square or not. First of all, you have to make sure it's already arranged, like to start with the greatest power, then the power smaller than it, then the power smaller than it. For example, here I have 4x to the power 2, then 12x, power 1, 9, no power for the x here. So yes, it's already arranged. The second step, let's check the first term. It's a perfect square or not. Try to get its square root. Square root of 4x power 2, square root of 4 is 2. Square root of x power 2 is only x. So yes, it's a perfect square. 9, let's check its square root, which will be 3. Yes, it has a square root, so it's also a perfect square. Let's check how to get the middle term. Will I be able to get it using the first and the third here? Okay, it can be got by multiplying 2 by 2x by 3. Will it give me this result, 12x? Yes, 2 times 2 equals 4, multiply 3 equals 12, so it's a 12x. So yes, this trinomial here, it's called a perfect square. By the way, you have to notice something very important. The first term and the third one are always positive. They can never be negative numbers. So let's try another example here. How to know it's a perfect square or not. So show which of the following trinomials is a perfect square trinomial and which of them is not. For example, here we have the first one, 4x power 2 plus 44xy plus 121y power 2. As I told you, make sure first it's arranged. Yes, power 2, power 2, power 2, so it's okay. Let's check the first one. Can I find a square root for the first one? Actually, yes, it will be 2x. And square root of the third one, here it will be 11y. Make sure they both are positive, the first and the third one. Yes, they are positive. To check the one in the middle here, I will multiply 2 by square root of the first, multiply by square root of the third. 2 multiply 2 equals 4, multiply 11, it will be 44xy. So yes, it's a perfect square. Let's check another one. We have here 25x power 2 minus 5x plus 1. As I told you, you have first of all to check if it's arranged or not. So yes, it's arranged. The second step, try to get the first one here, the square root for it. It will be 5x. Square root of the third one, it will be 1. They both are positive, so yes, I can complete now. Let's get the middle term. I get the middle term by multiplying 2 by the square root of the first, by the square root of the second. Here, the result will be 10x. Oh, it's 5x, so I can't say it's a perfect square. It's not a perfect square. So now, how to factorize the perfect square? Since you know it's a perfect square, you can get the square root of the first, the square root of the third, and then try to factorize it by using this rule. Open a bracket, put the square root of the first term, plus or minus square root of the third term, all to the power 2. Okay, when can I put it positive or negative, plus or minus? Actually, this one here, the sign depends on the middle term. For example, here, if we have an expression like this one, 28x minus 49x power 2 minus 4. As I told you, don't forget to arrange it, yes. So first of all, it will be negative 49x power 2 plus 28x minus 4. The first and the third term, they are not positive numbers. They are not positive terms here. They should be positive. So first of all, I will make negative outside as a common factor. Now I have 49x power 2 plus 28 will be minus 28x plus 4. Then keep the negative outside. As I told you, open a big bracket to the power 2. Get the square root of the first. It will be 7x. Get the square root of the third. Yes, it will be 2. As I told you, the sign in the middle here, it depends on the middle term sign. It will be negative. Can I make sure it's a perfect square or not? Yes, multiply 2 by the first, by the second here. It will give you the middle term. 2 times 7 equals 14. 14 multiply 2, it's 28x, yes. So this is how to factorize the first exercise here. Another exercise, I have 25a to the power 2 plus 20a plus 4. How to factorize this one? First of all, don't forget to make sure it's already arranged. They are in order, power 2, power 1, power 0 here. Then get the square root of the first one. So square root here is 5a. Square root of the third one, it's 2. Now let's check if the middle term is the multiplication of 2 by square root of the first multiplied square root of the third, then we can easily factorize it. So 2 multiply 5a multiply 2, it will be 10a multiply 2 equals 20a. So it's a perfect square. I can factorize it now. Put the square root of the first, square root of the third, and don't forget the sign of the middle term in the middle here. So now we already factorized it, and that's all about factorizing. I will just remind you of what we already did here. So in factorizing the perfect square, make sure you are arranging the trinomial first, then check if it's a perfect square or not. After that, get the roots here, the square roots of the first and the third term, and finally put it as a big bracket with square root of the first plus or minus square root of the third all to the power 2. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. See you next time, inshallah. Goodbye.